Smash Writing. This is, yeah. Welcome to Smash Writing. I'm Paul. This is Justin. No, we're not tired. We love doing this, but we're not thrilled because...
We're at the end of our suffering, at least. I mean...
This is, today we are reviewing Wishmaster 4. Prophecy for full?
A prophecy fulfilled.
Fulfilled, okay.
And my prophecy was just to be over, and it is.
This is the longest 4 months of our lives.
It's gonna be like a running counter in the clock. How many times we talk about sex in this fucking thing, and the people in this movie talk about sex.
Okay.
Let's run through the plot here. You start off with a couple.
Yeah.
Lisa and boyfriend.
Who's a jag-off?
Well, we'll get to that. They open with a real loving, romantic scene of them breaking the bed and then him drawing her in provocatively. Then you jump to 3 years later.
And the reason because they just bought a house.
Sure,
together.
why not?
Yeah.
And
3 years later.
3 years later.
Not 10 years. Like, this is what 3 years of moving in with somebody does.
He is now in a wheelchair. He's in a bad accident. She's arguing with the lawyer trying to get paid from whatever. He's a miserable dick who's looking at porn online. They argue. The lawyer gives her the gem, and he keeps it in the safe for until we can get it appraised. And of course, the awakens the gem. He uses the term. We didn't talk about this in 3. He doesn't use "awoken me." Oh, you who have awakened me. He uses the term "waker." You're the waker.
Yeah.
Gone the sophistication of the fucking gin. Nothing will talk so elegantly. And this fucking idiot waker. And that's it. This movie starts off with the good quote. The fucking long quote from the beginning of the first movie about the beginning of time and the worth of gin. Because remind me of the better movie again.
Remind me of the better days.
But the gin takes the face of Sam, the lawyer.
Yeah.
I think his name is Sam or Steven.
Something like
Who
that.
cares?
It does. Trust me.
Jackass, the lawyer.
Yeah. Trust me, getting these names right don't matter anymore because they couldn't get the film right.
He infiltrates her life because she thinks he's the lawyer. And she immediately starts firing his wishes off. You know, she wants the money from the lawsuit. He gets her the money from the lawsuit. He then wishes the boyfriend to be able to walk.
But the torture part. Okay, we're going to get into this because it contradicts him watching porn, but go on.
And then they get upset over sex, and he storms off in the strip club instead of having sex with your wife and being happy that you're a millionaire with 2 legs now. And then she makes the third wish to Steven, the lawyer, jackass. Who cares? That she wishes that he can love her for who he really is, or something like that.
No!
And
not only you got Christianity, you got a love story. A fucking love story.
It creates a conundrum in him because he is not the lawyer, he is the djinn. And so he can't supersede free will, so he has to make her fall in love. That doesn't make sense. Because when you make a wish that he can't grant, he just asks you for another wish. You know, like when Alexandria wished for him to be dead.
Yeah. Now, so
eventually he's starting to fall in love with her, and there's an angel hunting Lisa because if you kill the waker, fucking waker's not a mark. It ends with the djinn being stabbed. The djinn stabs the boyfriend, and she pushes him onto the sword and kills them both. Who fucking cares? Fuck this movie. Fuck you for using the term waker.
Okay, so now, here's what, ticks me off. The dude's watching now, we're 3 years, later. Now, we don't know exactly when his accident is. I think they framed it as kind of like a year and a half.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot. He has a conversation with her friend, and she says, the true way to make you fall in love is to bone her down. So we get that scene, because that's what I wanted from my Wishmaster movies, is seeing the Wishmaster get laid.
Yeah. And that's like one of the sex scenes.
Oh. That's all this movie is people talking about sex. There's not one
the dude, okay,
slightly meaningful conversation in
when
this
the
movie.
dude gets this has this accident and he becomes crippled, he obviously, they at least hinted that he can't get an erection. Okay, so what does he do? He completely pushes away his significant other. Like,
but why are you watching porn?
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't make sense. You don't get the urge anymore to do that. So then,
being paralyzed doesn't mean you can't have sex. You still can.
yeah, there's other ways. Now, here's another thing that makes this guy look like a complete dick. This guy.
No, he is a dick. This guy is a dick.
He is a dick. He
cannot possibly care about this relationship.
No, and here's why too. This guy, in so many words, literally openly tells his girlfriend or wife, whatever she is at this point, that the sex was why he loved her.
Well, I mean, they back it up, being that the only time whenever they keep having romantic flashbacks is the scene of them breaking the bed.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only meaningful thing in a 3-year relationship. At least a 3-year relationship.
Yeah, because it's 3 years later, and obviously if you're buying a house with somebody, that's a big, significant thing. Okay. But, like, and the girl's name's Lisa. Lisa still grinds it out with him because she loves him. She's shown, like, okay, yeah, we can't have traditional sex, but there's, cuddling, there's ways of loving. And he wants no part of it. He literally makes it clear that he only wants her, he loves her for the pussy.
But, like, I'm not, no, this is not from the topic. I've done a little bit of looking into the story, but, like, you still can do that, though. The traditional sex thing, like...
And then...
It stops your nerves and feelings and shit, but you still get blood flow when you shit, and you can still have...
Then,
why am I talking about this? Moving on.
Then they introduce, once again, this archangel. I think it is Michael again, but it's a different Michael. He comes to the earth.
Have a sword fight. Why does Jim packing a sword?
Before we get to that, let's make the next thing clear. This fucking angel comes into Lisa's friend's store, and the girl is like somewhat flirting with her. He cuts her fucking head off. What? She is like completely innocent, and she's just being nice because he's an attractive guy in her eyes. And he's just like, oh, you won't answer? Slice! And cuts her head off. He's an angel. You're contradicting yourself this whole film. Then, you get into the love story. The love story.
Like, again, if we've seen it in other movies. If the Wishmaster is presented a wish that he can't grant, he's not stuck with that wish. He just asks for something else. You get them to ask for
and there's no
else.
creative tongue twisting the wishes here. That is long gone. These wishes are not creative at all. Like, I don't even understand why he was killing the other people in the lawsuit.
I saw a review. It said that this movie redeems the series from a terrible second and third movie.
No, it does not.
This is better than 2.
No, there's no way in hell you can say this film is better than 2 or 3. It's the ranking of it. This movie is, and it's a goddamn title. It's 4th. It's 4th of the 4th film.
It's down there with 3. Like, you could take your pick on which one's worse.
You can literally flip flop.
But I think this one might be worse because this one, it's just.
No doubt.
Remember, I made the joke. Like, when we started that comedy list. That 2010, it's like I'd rather review porn. Here we are. I said it in that video.
I would still rather review porn than do this again. We are never going to re-rate this fucking film. I did not like the love story element of it. I mean, it went brutally bad with this love story.
It was like you'd be twisting the wish anyways, because she's wishing that the lawyer would love her, not the djinn. So why is the djinn working this hard? The lawyer already did love her.
Yeah. So
the wish is already there. Like,
now,
you tried to be smart about this, but you're too stupid to actually learn.
Now there is, and I'm not saying this in such a good, like, there is one element that maybe I liked about this film. Can you take a guess what it is?
Well, I did look at my old review. I said I liked the gore. So
Okay,
gore.
make it another element. Give me. What would you? Here.
The credits. I really like the credits.
It was over. No. They had other djinns.
Oh yeah.
I do think, like, overall, if
None of those djinns could have been like, you can't get her to wish for something else.
and I do like how they were like, dude, you're supposed to be leading us. You're failing once, twice, 3 times, and now this is a forced try. You're getting to free the people, the djinns.
And hell, even the first movie with the Kane Hodder's guard, he first asked him to leave, and the djinn was being forced to leave.
Yeah.
And then he baited a second wish out of him. That's not even the main one, and he still baited a second wish.
So like I said, the creative twisting the wishes around are completely gone at this point. It is gone. They're shot. Get over it. There's no creative in this film. The love story is horrible. Having the fucking angel in that sword fight, and they're like, oh, we've been fighting for years. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. There is not. If Christianity was going to be involved in this film, they would have done it in the first film and said some type of...
Again.
But then again, here's another bad plot hole. This djinn and this angel has been fighting for years. The fucking djinn has been in the stone for more than ever. So you couldn't have been fighting him all like that.
Again, it falls to what we keep saying and again, because this all falls apart. This is a different djinn. Because you tied it to the first movie by giving us the quote again. Stop tying it to the other movies if you don't want it to be the same djinn.
Yeah, you got. If that is your only escape, then it's horrible because they make it clear that this is the same djinn. There's only been one djinn in the entire series. Yes, it's played by different actors. Yes, it looks different. Was there any good kills?
The Broken Heart one, was that good?
I was thinking maybe like the bouncer at the club in the back when he's like getting his ass kicked and he wants him to wish like, oh, put up a better fight, and then he just pops up in its natural form and just kills him instantly and goes.
Would that be like a similar wish thing too? Whenever the guard asks him if he wants to dance with him Compton style.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
that was better though.
But yeah, at least that was funny. This was just downright sad. I think
Because you had the charm of Divoff in that scene.
that is
Because you
true.
had Divoff actually glance at the camera and smirk.
Yeah, like we know
Gotcha.
what we're doing. Yeah, like we know. What's the overall, in your mind? What's the overall worst part about this film? Like, what's the number one?
Just take your pick.
Me,
Fucking hell.
I'm gonna-
Because there's no good conversations. It's just all about, it's all about the sex, folks, because that's all you're fucking getting. The romance was shit, the characters were shit, the dialogue was bad, the Wishmaster looked bad. The wish was stupid because he just gets straight asked for another wish. It's all joke. Seriously.
I think, believe it or not, the worst part for me is the love story between the djinn and Lisa, and having the djinn
Name's Lisa, like it doesn't even work.
Lisa.
It's such Alexandria and Morgana, Diana to a point, you can still get that same ring, Lisa.
Diana. Lisa. Yeah, you can't get that off your tongue without Lisa. That's just.
I actually used the word waker.
Waker.
Yeah, that was a problem in 3, but it's just...
My worst thing is seeing the djinn fall in love and being conflicted.
Yeah.
I think that's... Okay, you want to put a love story in a horror movie? Go. Good for it. Go. Try to sell it. But you actually made the djinn, who's been the sole purpose of killing humanity. You're telling me he couldn't find any other type of woman before he got put in that gem that he couldn't love.
First thing you're telling me to love, like Morgana, fucking Alexandria, both way better. Way better options here, Jen.
So you actually show him conflicted that he wants her to love him.
She wants the lawyer to love him, not the Jen. So the wish is wrong anyway.
But then the djinn's like, I gotta find a way, and he's loving her. Okay. let's do a quick ranking because we're done with these movies, and I'll never.
Oh.
I'll watch the first one over again, but I'll never. 2, yeah, but I'll never watch 3 and 4 in my life again.
Start from the bottom.
4.
Yeah, 4. 3.
They're going in their titles.
2.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's your ranking. Number
Okay.
1's the best. Number 2's right behind it, followed by 3 and 4 in the fucking.
What's your grade on?
F tier. This is F.
I am giving this one another.
You're really gonna make me make this fucking card, aren't you?
Yep, you. Because when you make us watch bad fucking movies, I'm going to make it a you because this was
Okay.
trash.
Here's the main question: which was worse, this or Snyder's Batman? And Batman v Superman.
This.
You know what? Batman vs Superman. This is done in at least 90 minutes.
You're saving grace.
Saving graces. This is done
We
in 90.
can have more discussions about bad movies in the time comes, but this is a U for me, F for him. This is a dumpster. This is not even a dumpster fire. This is a.
The dumpster is on fire.
Yeah, the fire went out from the dumpster and burned the
It's
dumpster.
catching the alley on fire. It's an alley of dumpster fires that's gone out of control.
Until next time.
Bye-bye!